Ready to take back control of your life? Check out the 2024 Monk Mode Protocol. Link in the description. Alright YouTube, and welcome back to another video, man. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the great male filter. Now, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. This was a topic that I found from watching First Man. And, you know, he made a lot of great, interesting points about this filter of men between the ages of 25 to 30 and their lifestyle and how men can really be separated into different categories. So the great male filter, right, really applies to men that are around the ages of 27, 28, 29, kind of that late 20s range where you can really see the lifestyle choices that they made when they were younger impacting them, right? I'm going to pull up a chart of the different types of tiers of men. I'm going to pull up this chart real quick. So as you can see on this chart, we have the great male filter between the ages of 25 to 30. Now, the way I see this is there's really three tiers of men, really separating / filtering out the men who are on the successful path and the men who aren't so much on the successful path. Tier 1 of men and the great male filter, the lowest tier, are going to be men that are making less than 60K per year. They might not even have a job. They might be in debt, right? They're overweight men. Again, horrible lifestyle choices that they made throughout their younger 20s, the first half of their 20s, leaving them to be overweight. Again, there's literally lots of just horrible habits all over the place. Regularly going out, drinking, chasing women, no type of side hustle, no product, no ambition. They've never lived by themselves for any stretch of time period ever. And I'm not counting college. They just don't know how to take care of themselves. Bad habits, chasing dopamine, overweight, no job. And lastly, they lack confidence, right? And as a result of that, they probably are people with a shitty dating life. This is tier 1. This is the absolute worst tier when it comes to the great male filter. Let's go on to tier 2, right? Tier 2 is interesting because these are people that somewhat have their life together, but not quite yet. So money-wise, right, they're doing okay. They're slightly above the average salary. And the reason I'm using the 60K as the benchmark is because 60K or 59K per year is the average salary in the US. So these dudes are slightly above average in terms of salary. However, when it comes to just, you know, discipline, routines, there's just a lot of inconsistencies all over the board. They're inconsistent with their fitness, inconsistent habits, routine, right? They always start things, but they never finish them. They're just happy and content even with the way their life is going. Let me be just slightly above the average, live a normal life, right? I'm happy, content, no pain, no gain, just happiness, mundane, ordinary lifestyle. In addition, a lot of these people may have also settled very early on when it comes to the dating pool, man. Settling very early on, first girl that they get out of college, right? Got into that relationship. As a result, they've really just kind of plateaued, right? Settling down, inconsistencies everywhere. They kind of just, in the beginning of their life, they had their foot on the gas pedal, but then they just slowed it down and then took it off eventually, man. That is tier 2. Now, going on to tier 3, right? Tier 3 is just the type of people who have crushed it, who used really that first half of their 20s to just put their foot on the pedal and keep going and keep grinding, be consistent with all their habits. And as a result, this led them to being pretty successful. Tier 3, making $80,000 a year or above, job-wise. They're consistent with their fitness, have around 14% body fat or less, consistent habits, consistent routine, right? They have some type of purpose, side hustle that they're actively working on. They're constantly working on bringing value to the world, right? they're not just living a mediocre life, just going to work. Maybe after work, they go to the gym, then cook dinner, go to sleep, rinse and repeat. They have other things they're working on consistently, right? In addition to their 9 to 5 job, or in addition to their main hustle, they have other projects they're working on. They're constantly working on bringing value to the world, right? In addition, the successful habits that they had when they were younger have led them to be confident and successful. And as a result, right, very successful financially, and they're debt free, man. So this is the way I see it. The different tiers of men, you could say, in the great male filter. Again, it's just the separation of the different levels of men that you're going to see, right? Men who took their life seriously during their 20s. Men who kind of just may have taken it seriously for stretches of time, but then ultimately just kind of settled down with the mediocre life. Maybe they had a girl come into their life, so they kind of just were happy and with being complacent where they were at, right? That's more of a tier 2, right? Or they're just happy where they are financially. They just have the tier 2 people, man, especially. It's like a lot of people in this tier 2, they just have no desire to push themselves, just a lot of inconsistencies, no desire to really push themselves to the next level. And it's funny, man, if you really just do what you're supposed to do, if you really just follow good habits, just overall, right? Not drinking, not doing drugs, staying focused, not scrolling on your phone all the time, not being a social media addict, right? And I'm not even saying you can't ever have fun, but for the most part, if you just stay consistent, right? And just put your foot and really grind that first half of your 20s, you'll easily be in that tier 3, man, by the time you hit the great male filter. And I'm 30 years old now, but really from 26 to 29, those 3.5 years, I really buckled down. I really focused. And I think during that pandemic a couple years back, it allowed me to kind of just evaluate my life and see, where I was lacking, right? Developing good habits. 3.5, 4 years later to age 30, I can confidently say I'm reached that tier 3, right? My day job, paying me a pretty good salary over the 6-figure range. I have this side hustle now that I've actively been working on, right? This purpose, this YouTube channel. I'm in pretty good shape, right? When I was back in tier 2 a couple years ago, I wasn't going to the gym consistently. Nowadays, I'm going to the gym consistently 4 or 5 times a week. You just have that different swagger to you. You just have that confidence to you, right? Knowing that you're just multiple steps above the average man. And the thing is, man, a lot of you guys that are in this tier 2 category, you could easily make a couple tweaks to your lifestyle and you'll be headed on that path to tier 3, man. And really, when it comes to the great male filter, think of it kind of as like a preseason almost to, that prime that everybody talks about in their 30s, right? And again, this whole concept of male advantage and the prime in your 30s, again, for me, the way I looked at it, really, you can experience these fruits of your labor, almost a lot of them during this great male filter time period, if you just hold yourself accountable earlier rather than later, right? Just don't do what the majority of people are doing. Imagine if you started your self-improvement journeys around the age of 21, 22, right? Then you start experiencing these fruits of your labor around 26, 27, 28. And trust me, man, when you're in tier 3, you just have that swagger about you. You go out, right? And when it comes to dating even, knowing that you can attract pretty much women on both sides, older women if you're into that, younger women, right? Really mature women who've hit, 24 plus, right? You're going to be able to easily attract most of these women, right? You just have that swagger to you. Staying in shape, building a good body, right? Working on social skills. It all kind of compounds to the point where when you hit, when you're just consistent, right? Consistently doing something, you have discipline, right? It's all just going to compound, guys. It's going to compound where you see these fruits of your labor. You start seeing the successes. There's no excuse not to get into tier 3, guys. Just absolutely no excuse. Just stop doing dumb shit. Stop doing what the majority of people are doing. Spend at least that first half of your 20s really nose to the grind, disciplined. And as a man, you really have no excuse to ever take your foot off the gas pedal, man. You're going to be literally unstoppable, assuming you just don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Even if you get into that relationship, right? Just keep working on self-improving. And I think a man can always improve their life. If you haven't hit tier 3 really by the age of 35, you have a lot of work to do, my friend. You're just not on a good path. You have a lot of work to do, right? Forget dating, all right? There's no way in hell you're going to attract any girls. Let's be honest. You're not going to attract those decently quality women if you're not in tier 3. I mean, I'll just keep it a buck, man, you know? That's why a lot of these dudes in tier 2, some girl that's slightly cute, slightly okay-ish, I guess, that they just settle down with, and they just take their, foot off the gas pedal, and by the time they hit the great male filter, right, their life's a wreck in a way. There's just inconsistencies everywhere, man. Every man should aim to be at tier 3, take accountability sooner rather than later, man. And that for you is the great male filter. Anyways, guys, that is it for today's video on the great male filter. Let me know your thoughts below. Hopefully this video helped provide some clarity, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Somewhere out here. Peace.